Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Indie Zone podcast. My name is Kathy. A document has been released today, the 14th of April, in Idaho versus Kohberger, and this is defendant's response to state's first supplemental request for discovery. So let's look at this title and let's see what this means. This is the defendant's response. So it's Mr. Kohberger's responding to the state's first supplemental request. So there was a request for a discovery of some kind, and then it was followed by this first. So this is actually the second time that certain materials were being asked for discovery. Discovery is evidence. What is this regarding? Transfer of test materials. Let's read this and see if we can figure out what this means. Comes now Brian C. Kohberger by and through his attorneys of record, and hereby submits their response to the state's first supplemental request for discovery as required by Idaho Criminal Rule 16. It's the legal authority that's cited here, ladies and gentlemen. That's the bottom of page 1. We now go on to page 2 of this 2-page document. Mr. Kohberger first responds that he has complied with discovery requests for experts as provided in the Idaho criminal rules. This specific request for additional materials related to ICR 16C as in Charlie came for the first time on April 2nd, 2025. Mr. Kohberger responds specifically to Part 2, Section 1 of the state's request. Upon agreement from the Latah County Prosecuting Attorney's Office, the requested test materials will be provided between doctors directly. So this looks like Mr. Kohberger is turning over some medical information. This may be relative to the recent autism diagnosis, which was disclosed for the first time in the recent briefings on the motions in limine, and was also addressed at the motions in limine oral argument. We continue on. This is the second sentence of paragraph 2. Dr. Orr, O-R-R, will provide testing data to the state's expert, and the name is redacted, who is a licensed psychologist. This method of disclosure is in compliance with the APA, Ethics Code Standard 9.04 and 9.11. Dr. Orr must adhere to these ethical standards in releasing test materials, including protocols, test items, etc. Dr. Orr will work directly with, and now the doctor's name for the state is redacted here a second time, to transfer the requested materials once contact information has been exchanged. Dated this 10th day of April 2025, this is signed by Ann C. Taylor, Ann Taylor Law, PLLC, Mr. Kohberger's lead defense counsel. So what we can glean here is that Dr. Orr will provide the testing data directly to the state's expert. It appears that this was an agreement between the parties. It's to comply with the APA Ethics Code. And unfortunately, we don't have the state's expert, but it appears that this transfer of these testing results will happen imminently and will happen directly between the doctors. This appears to be, based on what this statement says here, upon agreement from the Latah County Prosecuting Attorney's Office. So this was something that the two sides had apparently worked out, rather than filing the documents with the court even under seal, that the proper way to do so would be from psychologist to psychologist, if you will. If you'd like to take a look at this document, please plug in Idaho cases of interest into any search engine. Go down to the Idaho versus Kohberger case. You're going to have to go down to the 10th day of April. That's when it was filed, and you can read this document for yourself. This is Kathy. Thank you for joining us here today.